Hi there. Today we're going to be making cast iron pan focaccia bread. Focaccia is an Italian type of bread, and we do it in the cast iron pan here at A Movable Feast Catering because it gives us a nice crust that we're looking for in a nice focaccia bread. So to start off, what you're going to want to do is get yourself two separate bowls. In one of your bowls, you're going to put all your dry ingredients. So we're going to start off with 500 grams of 00 Italian flour. We have some nice mixed herbs here, so just about a pinch of rosemary, fresh rosemary, and a pinch of fresh thyme. If you can find those at your local grocery store, or sometimes if you head down to our market downtown, you can find it there as well. After the herbs are mixed in with your 500 grams of 00 flour, you weigh about 7 grams of salt. Pop that into your flour, mix it up around, and you're good to go. You can set that aside. In the meantime, what you want to do is in your second bowl, you're going to want to weigh fresh yeast out to about 7.5 grams. Then you're going to get a pinch of garlic, pop that in there too. You don't need to measure the garlic. It's totally up to you how much garlic you want. How much garlic flavor you're going to end up with is completely on you. After that, pop this back on your scale, and you're going to weigh out about 12.5 grams of extra virgin olive oil. And to finish it up, we're going to add about 7 grams of sugar. The yeast is going to feed on that sugar, and it really starts to activate after that. So, short of that, what you want is about half a liter of lukewarm water. Add it into your yeast mixture. You're going to want to make sure it is lukewarm water, because if the water's too cold, it isn't going to activate the yeast, but if it's too hot, it's going to kill the yeast. So at this point, what we can do is just kind of whisk in our fresh yeast just to dilute it into the rest of the wet mix. You can get pretty vigorous with it. Now, unlike dry active yeast that you can buy in the supermarket, fresh yeast isn't gonna froth and foam. It's already activated. It's ready to go once you start using it. And again, that sugar that's in there, it's gonna help feed it and get it off the ground running. So, what you want to do next is maybe grab yourself a rubber glove for your hand. You can take your dry mix right over here. You have your wet mix all ready to go. Pop it right in there, all at once. After that, what you want to do is take your hand here and just gently get it going, incorporating all of the dry mixture in with the wet mixture. Now, unlike other types of breads that you're making at home, this one's going to be a little bit more between a dough and a batter when you're done, so don't worry about that. It is a pretty wet dough. Maybe take your hand around the side of the bowl just to promote it all back into the middle, like so. Now, there's one more step before I want to proof my dough. I'm going to grab another glove here and explain a little bit of lemon juice for you. Lemon's obviously a great, wonderful flavor, classic in many dishes. The reason I didn't add it into my wet ingredients is because too much acid is not going to promote the growth of that yeast. It's not going to activate it very nicely. In fact, too much salt or acid will actually kill the yeast, hindering the proofing of your dough. So I'll cut that right in half there. So it is okay to add it in there, but at the last second is key as opposed to right off the bat. So just squeeze the lemon over your hand. You can do half a lemon, you could do a whole lemon, you can do 10 lemons if you want. Depends on how much lemon flavor you like. I got a good half lemon there. Pop another glove on here and just gently mix that lemon juice in with your dough. What we want to do next is just cover it up. And then at this point, you're going to want to leave your mixture here at room temperature for about a half hour or so until it's almost doubled in size, and that's what proofing is. All right, so about a half an hour later, my dough is doubled in size. It's nice and proofed. What I've got here is my cast iron pan. It's nice and hot. It's got about a healthy amount of olive oil in there just to lubricate the bottom, and then some, so just about a quarter-inch thick of oil on the bottom. So it's nice and hot. We've got our dough ready to go. What you want to do is gently but quickly get your dough into your cast iron pan. You want to hear that sizzle. That means the oil is nice and hot and ready to go. That's what you want. So it's in there doing its thing. Very gently, because your pan's super hot at this point, into a 400-degree oven it goes. Okay, so it's been about a half an hour, so our focaccia should be finished by now. What you want to do is carefully, with an oven mitt or a cloth, grab it out of the oven. You can see it's nice and brown and risen up pretty nicely. Grab yourself a spatula, and then you just want to gently and carefully pop it on a cooling rack for about half an hour or so until you can handle it with your hands without burning yourself.